Hello there. So, calling someone a Muppet is now an arrestable offence? I had to check to see if it was April the 1st or something, but no, the Muppet police are now seriously out of control.
So I've been sat round there all this time, yet you decide to come and talk to me when I'm leaving.
Okay. Well, if you're going to you back for me, you're under arrest for Section 4A public order offence.
Just give us your camera.
Hang on a minute.
We don't want to
We'll
explain the circumstances.
Listen, all I'm going to say is, do you guys really want to do this?
Yes, we do.
Right, you're arresting me for what offence?
Section 4A public order.
Public order for what? Second
Put your hands
pictures?
to your back. No, it's not in relation to
Hang on a minute.
Not in relation to
Are you body cam one? Are you recording? Right, can you identify yourself, please, all of you?
PC 692.
PC 1823.
870.
Sergeant.
1823.
1823.
Yeah. Put your hands to your back then.
Is this really necessary?
At the minute, we don't know if you're carrying anything that might harm us. We don't know anything about you.
Oh, that's a fair.
Can't see your face, just out of precaution.
All right, let me just let me just speak. That's a fair comment. I'll let you have that.
Right,
but I don't have anything what's going to harm you.
Everybody says
don't
that's
know
what's
that,
doing
do
it.
And I'm actually just going to go in lobby because it's a beautiful lobby.
Yeah.
I'm going to get some because I ain't got any stills. I'm
My
going to take
colleague's
some
going to tell you
stills and then I'll
the
go.
circumstances for why you're being arrested.
Am I being arrested or being detained?
Been arrested. I was just caution.
Arrested?
Yeah.
Well, what have I done wrong?
Can you hear the caution?
Section 4A public order.
Can you hear the caution again, or are you?
Well, what have I done? Tell me what I've done.
There's been a member of the public who you've apparently been shouting at and calling him a Muppet.
Right, I'm up it. Yeah, and
You caused him alarm and distress.
She's very upset.
right.
about it.
Well, I'm gonna be straight with you guys now.
Don't
Right.
forget you're under caution.
You're under caution.
I can feel you shaking. I can feel
Under
shaking.
caution, mate.
Calm
Not
down.
shaking, mate.
Calm down. You are shaking.
Right, you've got your rights.
I'm going to tell you now.
Should we go into the office?
Calling somebody a
Before you
Muppet.
go ahead,
Well, there you have it. Arrested for calling someone a Muppet.
Jeff, I mean, that's just... I mean, look, come on. I mean, this is pathetic. It's authoritarian, and it's a national humiliation, Jeff. That's what that is. I mean, you've got 4 or 5 officers, I believe I saw, that counted there, and they've been mobilised for what is, let's face it, it's a playground insult. Okay, that's it. It's a playground insult. Jeff, you and I call each other a million times worse than that every day. Especially yesterday in Jeff's first live stream when he couldn't get the camera to work. But
No,
yes, I mean
everything was working. Everything was working.
Yes, of course it was. Anyway, I mean, look, you got police resources being wasted on nonsense like this when you've got burglaries and stabbings everywhere and, you know, grooming gangs, incidentally, but... And yet Jeff, I'm just lost for bloody words. I've seen too many TikTok videos now of people just walking into Greggs and different establishments, just blazingly filming themselves shoplifting. And that's just going by the by. There they are on TikTok. You can actually watch them doing it. And yet this man calls somebody a Muppet. I mean, for... Jeff, over to you. Too angry, mate. Too angry. It's just ridiculous.
I don't know how old that particular video is. It's because someone did say up in the comments that he got some compensation for it, so I'm not sure. But am I really the only person that thinks what the police should have done was arrested the Muppet who complained to them for wasting their time in the first place?
Absolutely.
But I will say, as far as I'm concerned, the Muppets are marvellous. So calling someone a Muppet should actually be considered as a bit of a compliment, don't you think? Don't you think they're absolutely fantastic? Yeah.
Well, we get called Muppets all the time. Those two old guys in the gallery in the Muppets, you and I do. What are they called? Come on, you remember the names, was it?
Waldorf and Statler.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Yes.
You know, we get called that all the time, so
we get
called Muppets. Call us a Muppet as much as you like, but come on. I mean, you know, the world must be laughing at us because there's some serious people who've been retweeting that at the moment. I don't know when it took place, but it doesn't really matter. Just the fact, I mean, if this is true, of course, we have to say if that is a true reflection of what happened to that gentleman. I mean, what was it under Section 4? Is it 4A of the Public Order Act 1986? Insulting or abusive language. if it causes alarm or distress. Oh, what world are we living in?
Yeah.
Jeff, I'm sorry, but what bloody world are we living in? Is this United Kingdom? This has just gone beyond a joke. It can't continue. We can't go on like this. The people, look, the people that you and I talk to quite regularly, they are telling us they've had enough. They're like ready to pop. I mean, the country is ready to pop. That's why this idiot of our new Muppet is incidentally of our new Home Secretary. That's why she's pulling out all the stops now, Jeff. In case people hadn't noticed, putting out all the stops to outdo the Reform Party. But we'll get onto that later, Jeff. Over to you, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to say that, if this case did or is going to end up in front of a magistrate, the police should be getting their ears figuratively chewed off for this woke nonsense. Figuratively chewed off. You notice I had to say. In the old days, I'd have just said had their ears chewed off by the judge. But that, of course, is a physical thing and can hurt people. So you have to put figuratively in these days. Yeah. So what patriots need to do from now on is every time one of the woke lefties screams racist at them, you can actually complain to the police and say, I'm offended at being called a racist. You must go and arrest all those people and lock them up. And see how long it lasts. Because if that is all it takes to make an arrest is a feeling of being offended, then let's all pile in and collapse this ridiculous law. Now, Alison Pearson said the following on X about this. Let me just find the relevant image. Here we go. Britain in 2025. Police arrest a man for calling someone a Muppet. It causes her distress, apparently. Officers have no business trying to eradicate offence from our society. They are not guardians of morality and manners. Solve some crimes, you Muppets. Now, of course, whoever called that person a Muppet might have called her Miss Piggy.
Well,
I don't know. Sure about that.
Well, I know, because I think the officer would have said you called her Miss Piggy. So apparently, so it looks like it just said you're a Muppet, which is a common term for something. I mean, is it an insult to say somebody's a Muppet? I mean, I don't know, because we get it called all the time. So I think we're a little bit jaded here on. We probably can't do impartiality on the Muppet word, Jeff. You and I, in this case. But look, what a country! What?
Yes, what a country. And the one of the coppers was stood there with his hands in his pockets, wasn't he? I mean, the old guard coppers will not be impressed with this lot these days. They look like they're sixth formers hanging around by the bike shed. You know what I mean? They're meant to be an imposing body of people going out and catching and nicking the real criminals, striking fear into the hearts of the hardened bank robbers and all the rest of it. And all they want to do is go, 5 of them ganging up on some guy because he called someone a Muppet. But it doesn't actually stop there, because here's another video that caught our eye about the same sort of subject. And I'll just play this one for you.
What did it need to come to?
Oh, wait a minute. Let me just get rid of that first one. Remove that.
Jeff and technology, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't understand. I posted something that he posted. You come to arrest me, you don't arrest him. Why has it come to this? Why am I in cuffs? Because there's something he shared, then I shared.
Because someone has been caused, obviously, anxiety based upon your social media page. That's
not his.
why you've been arrested.
Right. Now, that's an interesting concept, isn't it? So someone tweets something. Nothing happens. Tweet accepted. Tweet goes viral. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It just goes out there. This other guy comes along and retweets it. Suddenly it causes offence because he retweeted it or she retweeted it or whoever. doesn't that strike you as being a bit strange? Because it's not the subject matter that caused the offence, but the person who did it. So the subject matter was not at issue. Otherwise, the first guy would have been arrested for putting out an offensive, something that incited violence or whatever. But they weren't. It was because someone just felt offended by the person who retweeted it. Now, that should just throw this whole law under the bus. The whole thing is just a joke when you actually give it any thought at all.
I mean, people. Why do you think the people of Epping and so many people are talking about withholding their taxes? Like, really, we're not paying. You know, if this is what funds the police, then why are people funding the police with their taxes? I mean, I'm not saying people shouldn't. I'm saying that that's what's happening. People are saying this on quite a regular basis. So, how far does it have to go until people do stop funding the police? Because as far as I'm concerned, the police should be abolished now, as they stand. It's over. No, it really is, Jeff. Sorry, what's the point? Why have we got a police force? They don't solve actual crimes. All they're doing there is they're just acting as the jackboots for the state. I can't think why on earth the police force should remain as it is. I believe there should be a police force, a community brought back into the Robert Peel principles. But that's it. That's what the people of Britain want. A police force that they can respect, not one where all they can do is just live in fear of the state. No, crimes don't get bloody solved. Burglaries, the groomers, that's all fine according to the state. That's fine. The police don't touch that. You can go now. All of a sudden, they are starting to make arrests in London for the Palestine Action Group, which incidentally, I believe our Home Secretary, our new Home Secretary, she abstained in the vote against prescribing Palestine Action Group as a terrorist organisation. She abstained on that. And that's our Home Secretary now, ladies and gentlemen. Quite worrying.
She's also been photographed carrying a Palestine poster or flag, whatever, in support of Palestine. The Jewish people of this country, the Jews in this country must feel very safe right now. Absolutely, they must feel incredibly safe. Yeah. This country is really quite. Our establishment is really tying itself up in knots. Actually, it's all these contradictions within its own makeup that is causing all this. They're tripping over each other now, and I think it's not going to last much longer. And this Labour government, I can't see them electing to the end of the year. I really can't. It's just a complete shambles. And talking about Shabana Mahmood, who, as I say, has been pictured supporting Palestine, she said she's going to save us from all those boats and the incoming males in them, because she's threatening to withhold visas for countries that won't allow us to return their criminals to them. But as far as I can see, she is one of those who thinks that newcomers are so much more important for our economic and cultural future than those whose families stretch back generations here. And she might well agree with her government's legal opinion, remember, that was presented to a court, that newcomers have more rights than the settled population. I wonder what her thoughts are on that particular issue. Anyway, here's what she said about people who wave the flag of St. George. Let's see if I can find that one.
People that you see holding the English flag most of the time, down my neck of the woods, will be the EDL, and they are white and they are male and they're bad people and they want to divide our communities from one another.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is our new Home Secretary.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so when you see things like that, or when I see it, I'm just not convinced that this person has any real conviction where stopping illegal or even legal migration is concerned.
Well, she does have conviction, though. Yeah, she does have conviction because I actually watched a clip of, earlier. I think it was on Paul Thorpe's channel, and in that she said that the one thing which she puts first over all things is, I believe, from what I can gather, I might be interpreting it wrong, of course, was her faith as a Muslim and her belief as a Muslim. Yeah. Now, I actually have some respect for anyone who has got the conviction of their faith right now, okay? I actually do. I happen to be a Christian, and I wish that this was a Christian country. And there's a lot more I could say in this, except the Online Safety Act will not allow me to do it. About what, yes, but there we go. I'll have to retract myself and pull myself back into my little box very quickly there before I say any more. Jeff, sorry, back over to you, mate.
Yeah, well, actually, it's quite funny because constitutionally, this country is meant to be Christian. It's in the Constitution. The king is the defender of the faith. Yeah, but so it was built into the Constitution, hundreds of years ago. And you've got to remember that countries in the Middle and Far East, Islam is structured into their constitutions, whichever way you want to look at it. They do have constitutions, and that is their religion. And that is the way they run the country based on that. But somehow or other, when we do it, it's wrong. When they do it, it's right. But I just wish we'd refined that. So now, when it comes down to the new Home Secretary and things like legal migration and family reunions, where do you think she'll stand on that? Do you think she'll be trying to curb that or go along with it? And I greatly believe she won't be trying to stop it. And the reason I say that is because the new housing minister, Steve Reed, said he's going to build, baby, build. The trouble is, though, that the person he relieved of that job, Angela Rayner, who was the housing minister as well as being the deputy leader, deputy prime minister even, she was saying, I'm going to build 1.5 million houses in 5 years. That's 300,000 a year. Guess what? We're way behind that. It's not going to be the first year is not going to see that amount of houses. It's going to be much lower than that. That means they've got to build more in the future. The trouble is, Jeff, when you build houses,
Jeff, there's one thing though. We know where those houses are going, right? And you and I saw quite an upsetting. Yeah, but you and I saw quite an upsetting video the other day of a lady who was homeless, and she was unable to get anywhere to stay. This is a British. Unfortunately, though, for her, she was white, and so she's finding it very difficult, apparently, to find accommodation for herself. Yet, we know where accommodation is being allocated. And we know where these people are going to be housed. Oh, yes, the Home Secretary is now going to be putting people up in these RAF barracks, apparently, Jeff. I'm thinking, okay, are they guarded? Are they going to be ring-fenced? Are they going to stop people from leaving the grounds? Because otherwise, that could be quite interesting. A former military base has been reallocated and put to new purpose. But yeah. Jeff, over to you. Sorry. Very angry at this.
The whole point with the housing market is you need a functioning economy to build the houses. You need people, first-time buyers, especially first-time buyers, with money, either their own or from the bank of mum and dad, remember, to be able to step forward with a bunch of money to put into their first house, the first deposit, so they can then pay the mortgage. But the trouble is our economy is going down the tubes. People are starting to lose their jobs. Taxes are going to go up. Also, they're going to be mucking around with investments and people's earnings from all different sorts of things with capital gains tax and all the rest of it. This is going to absolutely strip the markets of any profit. A lot of people's pensions are going to be affected. That means there's going to be less money out there. That means there's going to be less money for buying houses. And so how are they going to be built? The only way they're going to be built is if the government steps in as the first-time buyer with taxpayers' money to pour into all these houses, to build them, so that they can then allocate them how they want. How's that for you? That's how this is going to work out. It's going to be the taxpayers' money.
I'll tell you how it's going to work out. And that's what Dr. David Betts has been talking about. That's how this is going to work out if they keep pushing the British people like that. That's all I can see is the mood of the nation turning. And it's not something you and I want, Jeff. It's something we have campaigned against for a very long time. But it does appear as if civil unrest is increasingly encroaching, just day by day. It's like, and as Pink Floyd always said, all in all, it's just another brick in the wall. And these bricks keep piling up. And the wall keeps growing. And yes, one of the things I noticed in your second live stream last night, Jeff, was the amount the advance flags, and you've got advance on the screen there from Kaz. Yes, there's a lot of support growing for advance right now. I don't know if you saw the absolute joke that was the reform that conference or whatever it was, with Dame Andrea Jenkins singing. Yeah. And I thought, what is this? The country doesn't need theatrics and games. It needs bloody leaders. It needs political representation. It needs people that you can actually have faith in. And to see that nonsense, it was just embarrassing. Again, Britain, what have we become? Become a joke. And no wonder Elon Musk is looking at Farage and thinking, you're not the man for the job. Is this the kind of show you put on? You're meant to be galvanizing a nation. There's one man who is doing it. Well, two. You've got Tommy and you've got Ben Habib, the two men who are trying to pull this country together. And we're doing our bit, just little old you and I, Jeff. And there's others out there doing it as well. Yeah. And all of you lovely people in the comment section, I can see so many of you have got the support for Advance. And it's very surprising. The polls I'm reading, the polls that I'm seeing, Jeff, done online, when put to a sort of centre to right wing, of course, centre to centre right, it's meaningless terms, but right wing on the people on that sort of part of the spectrum. When they're asked who they're going to vote, yes, the majority are saying, about 60% reform. But it's like all of a sudden you've got like 30-40% is Advance UK. And I'm thinking, wow. Yeah. That's crept up bloody quick. That's quick. No, it has. To be honest with you, this is a few weeks ago since I looked at this, about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I don't know what it would be now. I'm sure it'd be much greater. But Jeff, over to you, mate.
Yeah. Someone just said they love it when you kick off. And this one here, those old two bitter Muppets.
That's us. We're Muppets and we're proud of it. Yes. And we are bitter. You have no idea.
Yes. Anyway, I'm going to go back to this rental property thing because I'm going to tell you something. Rental properties are now being scooped up from willing landlords at massive cost to the taxpayer at above market level rents to house the newcomers. Now, do you remember that big push by Labour to stop landlords evicting people on a no-fault basis? So if the tenant had done nothing wrong, paid their rent, done nothing wrong, that you couldn't evict them without a really strong reason? That's gone on the back burner, ladies and gentlemen, because the government wants them to evict all the Brits. They want them out. They need the landlords to evict the Brits. That's what they want. They're not protecting the tenants. They want them out. They want to throw them on the streets so we can pay huge amounts of taxpayers' money to house the newcomers and move them into every neighbourhood in the country for the sake of diversity. That's what's happening. They're not going to change that law. They are going to use that law to throw people on the streets.
Yes.
There you go.
No, I totally agree, Jeff. Ben Leo, I think it was Ben Leo, on GB News, he was outside the house and he was talking to a migrant. I've said this before. And the migrant was then informed. And, I actually felt sorry for the migrant because he did seem to be like saying, this is not good. He was told that a family had been, a woman and her children had been thrown out of this house so that so the house could be repurposed for as a property, a house of multiple occupancy for immigrants to stay in. That's what's going to happen. I mean, also, Jeff, I think they'll even pay above market prices to purchase houses. That's the other side of it, And the thing is,
And
it's
then-
like, and let me tell you something, Jeff. If one goes in your street, think about this, okay? If one of those houses goes in your street, and all of a sudden you've got a house with multiple occupancy, and persons who you don't know where they've come from, have entered the country illegally, are now in that property, and then another one goes, and you're going, okay, I'm not so sure I want to live here. Just like Keir Starmer said he didn't want to live next to a migrant hotel. That thought will go through your house, and you'll probably too, and possibly myself. I think, right, I'm putting my house up for sale. I'm not living like this. I'm too frightened to stay here. I've got children, my wife. I'm worried about. Right, mine's going to have to go. See, I'll sell to the government then, and that's the way it'll work. It'll be a snowball effect. People will be too frightened to stay where they are, and that's how it. Yeah. And I can't say any more because the Online Safety Act again. Sorry, Jeff.
Yes. Someone did say in one of the earlier comments that what will they do when they find out that Big Bird is running the country? But now I'm wondering what the ladies or the people in Epping think about all of this, because as some of you might know, I went there yesterday. And they want in Epping to shut the hotel down, the Bell Hotel. But that doesn't mean they want the occupants moved into converted high occupancy properties recently rented from landlords by the government. Now, yesterday was quite telling because the police presence was extremely low key there. And I'll just play you part of one of the videos and just show you what went on there. Let's have a look. As you can see, there's quite a few people as we marching through Epping. There's lots of Starmer is a you-know-what singing and all the rest of it, which was quite heartening to hear. But all peaceful, all going through, having a good time, lots of flags to wave and things like that. And it was really nice to see just ordinary people. There's no far right people there. They're just ordinary people out having a bit of a bit of a protest. And a couple of times it's quite funny actually, because they stopped on a couple of the roundabouts on the way in, and decided that they would do a sit down on those big on the big things. So they started sitting down, and which was quite funny really. And the police were very relaxed about this actually. I thought they'd come rushing up because they were holding up the traffic a bit, but the police were very relaxed about it, let them get on with it, which is what they should have done last week when Sarah White went and waved her flag from the Civic building and they arrested her and another bloke that she was with at the time. But so they were, a bit of fun, sit down, yeah, nothing bad, not destroying anything or anything like that. So, yeah, they're in good spirits and all the rest of it. So that was really good. And I really sort of enjoyed their company, going around talking to one or two of them. And it was really good. Now, there were 3 speeches there. I'll just show you one. This is by Orla Minihane, of Epping's Women in Pink. And she made the following speech to the crowd. And it always sort of makes me sit up and listen when a woman stands up and starts talking like this, because you normally expect the men to stand up and become revolutionary, and all this sort of thing. But our society nowadays has changed to the point that men can do nothing. They're not allowed to do this stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's patriarchal, it's mansplaining, it's all the rest of it. So we have to leave it to the women these days. Anyway, I'll just play you this and you have a listen, and I think you'll be quite impressed.
I want to talk to you about numbers. In the last 3 months, I'm going to read out some really bad stats. These are men that have come on boats across the channel, not come in via other routes, and we know that that's happening as well. But over the channel, June, 5,170. July, 5,254. August, 3,511. And this weekend, over 1,000 undocumented men have come into this country. That makes a grand total of, I'll give someone a tenner, nearly 15,000.
That's one
If you divide that by the amount of men that are in the Bell Hotel, that is 108 Bell Hotels in the last 3 months.
No more room for him.
So, on Friday, I was talking to a lady from Devon, and she said to me that she had 3 hotels in her town with 400 men. They have now got no tourism. They have now got no security, and the whole commerciality of their town has been wiped out. People are losing their jobs. Waitresses, barmen, people who worked in the hotels, people who worked in hospitality, wiped out. Shops are closing down. She cried and she said to me, what do we do? What do we do? I can't get people to protest because they do not believe they're going to get anywhere. They believe it's falling on silence, on deaf ears. They're broken. She said the people are broken. And I said to her, you need to look at the people of Epping. Yes. Don't look at an individual. This is not about individuals. Do not look at the parties. This is not about parties. This is not about your political beliefs. This is about the people of this country. Yes. This is not a protest. This is not a movement. This is what? A revolution! Yes. Stand up, back up! On the 1st of October, we have set up a pink protest in Westminster because women across this country have said to me, no one's listening to us, Orla. No one's coming to our hotels in Bournemouth and Ipswich and Surrey and Gatwick. Everywhere across this country, no one's coming to see us. We have got to go to them. Yes. We're going to Westminster, the 1st of October, Peterborough. Yes. The 1st of October, Westminster, 10 o'clock. Yes. Prime Minister's questions. We have 3,000 women coming from across this country in minibuses, up and down the country, to stand in Westminster and say to Starmer, you have got to go. Yes. You are sacrificing women and children in this country for your ridiculous ideology. Yes. We are not sacrificial lambs. No. Join us on the 1st of October. Men are obviously welcome. Just stay at the back. No, I'm joking. Men are welcome, of course you are, but this is about the women of this country. We are the new suffragettes. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, what did you think of that, ladies and gentlemen? Impressed me no end. So, yeah.
That was brilliant, Jeff. That was so powerful.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I can only urge and ask the women of this country to, if they can. I mean, there's a big event happening this weekend, obviously in London, the Freedom of Speech rally, the Freedom Rally. But if any of the ladies also can make it to that, on what date in October was it? Is it the 1st? I can't remember what she said.
Yeah, the 1st. Yes.
Yeah. If you
must be a Wednesday. I haven't actually checked because Prime Minister's question time is on a Wednesday. So if it's PMQs that day, it will be on Wednesday.
Mm.
Yeah.
That really got me. That did.
It is.
That's because a lot of us can't. A lot of people. I mean, you and I, we try and stick our neck out a bit, Jeff. But there's a lot of things we can't say because we're men. Because we're perceived. Well, you're white. I'm perceived as being fully white. I'm half Iranian, whatever. I don't know if I'm saying that, to be honest with you. I spoke today, by the way, to a young Pakistani lad. I'll be doing an interview with him hopefully soon. Who very much supports all of the Unite the Kingdom movement. and seems like a very, very nice chap. And what he's been through from the system is absolutely horrific. Absolutely horrific. And I won't name him today, but because I want to save that for something special. I'm hopefully going to do something special and get together with him because there's so many people who see through the rubbish, okay, that the left wing are telling us how we should think, how we should approach, how our moral compass should have been designed. Never mind our moral compass designed by God through Christianity, okay, which has shaped Western civilization. Oh, no. We have to think of it from left-wing, secularist, liberal, through a liberal lens. And that doesn't work. It doesn't work. It creates a divided society. Even this abhorrent unification and alliance between the far left and a certain demographic, that will eventually fall apart because the one absolutely hates the other. The liberal left is hated by a certain demographic, believe it or not. Everything they stand for. So when you see these Muppets down in London supporting Hamas effectively, because that's exactly what they're doing, and with their multicoloured flags alongside the Palestinian flag, know this, those people effing hate you. They hate you. Jeff.
Yeah, they all do. So yeah, we got to look after ourselves at the end of the day, and we've got to learn that we're relearning that lesson right now. We're being taken for a massive ride by the whole system, and I don't see that massive ride ever finishing. It's just here, and the powers that be have got so much leverage over us that we have given them. By the way, over the years we have allowed the establishment to grab hold of those levers of power on a permanent basis, and they're using them because you voted for it, so we're using the levers of power, and we need to start taking them back because and we need to get the right people into Parliament and into the House of Commons in order to get the power back and pass the relevant laws to do it, and that needs to happen very, very quickly. Now, a lot of people are saying that Labour are here they just need to sit there. It doesn't quite work like that. I mean, Boris could have just sat there with his majority, couldn't he? But he couldn't withstand the pressure that the public put on his MPs and then his MPs put on him. And that's what we're actually seeing at the moment with this new Home Secretary saying all these wonderful things that she's going to do. But Keir Starmer said it already, hasn't he? He said, we will smash the gangs. Then he hasn't smashed the gangs.
Hadn't he smashed a Ukrainian gang
coming from them? Sorry?
Yeah, there was a Ukrainian gang I think he smashed, didn't he? Yes, I think they were.
Or did they smash him? I'm
no,
not sure. Anyway.
yeah. It was a criminal gang, of course. I'm talking about here. No, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
They didn't get the better of him, though. No. Oh, no.
No. Anyway, I just want to have a look at these. Someone said, thank you, Catherine, thank you. Humberside Police made the arrest, correct? I'm not sure, to be honest. I should have read into it a bit more. But I was just so angered by just seeing this bunch. It could have been any of them, couldn't it? Come on, let's be honest. They're all trained the same way. They're all beholden to the College of Police and all the rest of it. They get trained in the same woke mentality. And that's the end of it. They don't police by consent over things that bother people, that really bother people, like shoplifting or burglary or anything like that. No, it's all about this bloody woke rubbish. That takes the priority. 5 police officers, have they got nothing better to do? Oh, dear.
Clearly not.
Yeah. Nomad, thank you very much, says, amazingly, UK people have gotten someone as their Home Secretary, the country that even Islamic countries don't like for several reasons. Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? To be honest, that particular demographic, they have two main parts of their religion, and they hate each other more than they hate us, probably. Yeah.
Well, as I said, I was speaking
right.
to a young Pakistani guy today, and lovely, lovely chap. Sorry, he was absolutely wonderful. And he himself said that when things do kick off, he said this to me, when things do kick off in this country, that he feels he will be targeted. And he actually said, these are his words to me. He said that he could sort of understand where the anger towards that community would come from. And I thought, oh, bless him. It really, I felt very sorry for him. He's going through a lot right now. And a decent chap, law-abiding citizen, loves this country, loves
that's what we
Great
want.
Britain.
That's what we want.
Yes, absolutely.
But I get the impression many don't. A. Fenner, thank you very much. Most police these days were probably bullied in school and now got power trips. Yeah, I get that. The thing is that back in the day when I was a kid, every police officer was over 6 foot tall. They were chosen because they were big, imposing people, and people wouldn't mix with them. They would just go, right, officer, yeah, okay, got it. But nowadays, when you look at them, you just wonder whether they could actually catch up with you if you ran off,
I'm not sizist, but literally some of them are like 4 foot and a fart, right? That's about their total height. And, and you just think, okay, so you're going to tackle me to the ground, are you, if I was to kick off? Thinking, no, dear, you're not.
Actually, that's why they send 5.
Ah, yes, 5 of them, yes. Oh, good. I mean, if you look at half of them these days, they look like, they've lived on soy lattes. They've never had a slice of beef in their life. It's like
they wouldn't touch a slice of beef. That would be killing something with a face on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, look, my grandmother's been dead for many years, but even her in her current state has got more testosterone than half of those lot. That's the state of affairs. Like,
yeah. Thank you very much, Catherine. I'm praying for your country. Is there a recall process in the UK? How do you get them out of Parliament before an election? There is a recall process for each individual MP. If they break the law at a certain point or above, they can be subjected to a local election or forced out of office or whatever, or forced to stand down as an MP because of the severity of the crime. But generally, it's taken as written that the electorate are informed and clever enough to vote the right person in for them. That's how it's based. It's the electorate in that area have done their research, they understand the issues, and they're voting for someone they trust to represent them in Parliament. The trouble is that too many people these days outsource that process to the party system. So what they say is, when the Tories stand up and say, you don't have to worry, just vote blue, we've done all the thinking for you, up until now, too many people have taken that as read. And the same with the Labour in the safe seats especially. It's a case of Labour just say, vote red and you're voting for the workers. Now we're beginning to find out that they actually work for the union workers, and everyone else can go hang and pay lots of tax. So, we do have recall procedures, but the best recall procedure is for the average voter to pick up a newspaper, not a newspaper, go online. Forget the newspapers and the BBC, go online and start looking at stuff on there and deciding what you really think. So, and then voting as a result of that. So, good question.
Jeffrey, I'm just going to disappear for 2 minutes. I shall be back, if you could let me back in 2 minutes. So over to you, and I will be back very soon, okay? I've got a surprise.
Okay. You got a surprise, right? Okay. Richard's got a surprise. Right, while he's gearing up for his surprise, what I'll go on to is say that Kappa Deseo says, yeah, thanks. I've voted today. I hope I get my choice of leader. Well, we all hope that, don't we, that we get our choice wherever in the world you're voting, and whoever you want your choice of leader. And it should be a democratic process, but it should be a democratic process based on the people that you're voting in loving your country, loving to the point that they would fight and even make the ultimate sacrifice for it. This is what we need. But when people lose trust in the authorities, they lose trust in the establishment, they lose trust in everything, they won't fight for it. And then everything begins to crumble. And it's really quite sad that we've got to that situation. As John Dingle says, the UK is now HM Prison Britain. Yeah, it used to be. What did they used to call it? It was UK PLC, wasn't it? It was a business. Now it's a prison. Yeah, it seems to be that way for some of us. Yeah, and that really is a desperate situation to be in. And John Dingle again. Yeah, Fabianism is the gatekeeper that has betrayed us for decades since World War II, managed decline, and now it's managed destruction. Yeah, Fabianism. When did that start? That was very early last century, wasn't it? If I remember rightly. Everybody, you need to look into Fabianism and see what and how much of an effect it's had on this country. A lot of people out there, including some very well-informed commentators in various places, hadn't even heard of the Fabians, and they are, they're quite powerful, and they work behind the scenes a lot and try to influence things that go on, and they're just part of this whole setup, and it's not very good for this country, I'm afraid. So there you go. Now, when I was in Epping yesterday talking to people, you could sort of see that they were in good spirits, and they did joke a lot about things, and they talk to each other and they laugh a lot, but under it all there is this underlying worry about their futures, their children, and all the rest of it, and the area, and people should be listening. The government should be listening. And this is happening in I don't think any area has come out where the councillors have said that their people want lots and lots and lots more of them. They haven't openly said it, although I can imagine in certain areas there are people like that, and there may be a majority of people like that. But no, it's Misha SWB says, is 13th of September marching on Parliament? It has to. No, actually, it's this is actually a free speech festival. So it's meant to be getting together to celebrate our freedom of speech and trying to push back against the authoritarian nature of Keir Starmer and his wresting of power. He wants to control the speech, because if he controls the speech, he controls us. So anyway, I've got Richard back online here, so I'll just pass you over to him if I can. There you go, Richard.
Ladies and gentlemen, now then, there's a song that I'm sure you would all like to sing after what we've just heard, and I want you to all join in. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? Are you ready? Here we go. Ooh.
Starmer's up. Yeah. It's a new guitar.
There you go. I hope you all enjoyed that. I'm sure you all sang along there very nicely. And I intend for us all to finish with that at the end of each show. Just to get the... Yes, we need to do this, and usually I might. Oh, by the way, here's a little something for you. This is the intro to the Jeff Taylor channel and where it originally came from. Whilst I got the guitar here. There you go. That's the intro for the Jeff Taylor thing, which I came across. Yeah, back over to you, Jeff. Sorry, had to do that. I mean, the mood was right. Yeah. And I'm thinking we need to do that at the end of probably most videos now, just to have a good sing-song, just saying it's a way of us expressing our love for Keir Starmer, because he's our beloved ruler and our illustrious leader. And there we are. Jeff.
Yes, well, there you go. So we're going to have a musical end to most of the rest coming forward, and
Yes.
it'd be great to see everybody. I'll have to have a way of getting all your microphones in to listen to you all singing. But yes,
Well, I've actually got an idea on this, Jeff, and I might need to get another little tiny piece of equipment, a little tiny £20 box, which I need. And
a £20 box.
Indeed, it's a £20 box. It is. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to donate £20, it would help massively towards purchasing this little box. And this little box will allow me to do at the end of each video a little song, which I would like to do. It'll be a one-verse song, so you're not having to listen to too much music at the end of each video. And it'll be a song about, let me think, the state of the nation. There we go.
Yeah,
Jeff.
I'm just trying to. Thank you very much, Nomad. I think I might have missed this one. Why no Chinese, Japanese, Ukrainian, Mongolian? UK is literally ruled. Yeah, I'm not sure that we're being ruled. What is happening is that we're just so scared of a certain demographic doing or saying something that our authorities sort of just seize up and everything just stops working. It's a very worrying sort of thing.
No, it's good. I mean, we should all be very happy about this. I'm very happy personally that people from other demographics are ruling a country, and that the majority of the population of this country are now entering servitude. I think it's wonderful sort of trend that we're going towards. It's good. It's good. We should be happy and celebrate it. It's part of our diversity. And diversity is our strength, ladies and gentlemen. Do not forget that.
Is that right? And thank you, John Dingle. Keir Starmer's an anchor. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, and he says, the system wouldn't let me spell the last word. Yeah, well, it won't. The YouTube system has got a few things that it likes to avoid, and that's probably one of them, saying things like that. So there you go. That'll teach you, young man or person or whatever you are or identify as.
Well, the thing is, I mean, I heard something very interesting the other day. It's like this. Going back to what I was talking about earlier, there's plenty of people who support what goes on in Gaza in terms of Hamas, the Hamas rule, and the sort of and their rule. Very difficult. I can be so careful with my wording. Anyway, there's these certain persons who identify as theys and thems and have lots of rainbow flags, which is their right. Incidentally, is perfectly right. But I think their allegiance towards the because their allegiance isn't towards the people of Gaza. Ultimately, it is towards Hamas. So if these they thems were to go to Hamas-run Gaza, their new pronouns would actually change to was and were. That's the truth of the matter, because they wouldn't be existing anymore for some reason. So they would go from they them to was were, and that is the truth. That would happen. They would. And I'm not criticizing them in any way, shape or form, of course, because this is the Online Safety Act compliant channel, as you all know, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff.
Yes, well, it's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? This whole situation that this country is in, because very soon we're going to be forced to have to change things in one way or another for the better. And there's going to be a lot of shocks when that happens. I mean, Richard and I were discussing this earlier on, and we came to the conclusion that the next government, if they want to maintain a cohesive country going forward, based on how it's been in the past, they are going to have to take some really, really drastic action. And what the new Home Secretary has outlined is not drastic enough. It really isn't. It's not even mucking around with deck chairs on the Titanic. it's mucking around with the towels on the deck chairs on the deck of the Titanic. That's all they're doing. They're trying to react to people. They're trying to use words, but the actions won't be there. As I said, in the end, the only thing I see is we are going to be paying other countries millions of pounds to take their criminals back. Because at the end of the day, our government won't want to stop the inflow of migration, legal or illegal. They'll just keep it going because they think that without them, the country will totally and utterly collapse. They don't think we're good enough. They don't think we're up to it. You know, the people who built the country are not up to it. All they have to do is put the right incentives in place to get people back into work or into work in the first place. At the moment, we're paying so many people not to work. And today, I'm hearing that the underground people, they want to work a 4-day week. They want to reduce the hours they work, get paid more for doing it, and get just about free travel around the country. So they want a massive pay rise, basically, and to sit at home a lot more playing on or watching Netflix or whatever they want to do, or ordering Uber and whatever meals and things as well. No.
Yeah, but Jeff, there is a problem here. There is a big problem here, though, as well, because right now it doesn't pay to work. If you actually work a lot of the time, you can be out of pocket. And the system has become so deranged that you are better off on benefits a lot of the time. And that's a hideous thing to say. And then people think, well, why am I paying for this? Well, at the same time, if you were in that position, would you go to work? If you were going to be out of pocket? For what? What, for some moral compass reason? No, you wouldn't work. And I agree. If it's too expensive to work, why would you work? Why? Really, why? There is no incentive. So what we have to do is change our society. And then this is the conversation we had, Jeff, is to change the society. We have to go in hard. It can't be done incrementally by little steps. No. And this is where we had a full debate earlier. It was a good conversation. You'd have liked it, ladies and gentlemen, if only we recorded. We will now try to go over that old conversation. But it was
without upsetting the algorithm.
Yes. But no, I mean, look, if at the end of the day, you've got a situation where, for instance, it's the benefits trap. It is where if you can't work, obviously, I just saw one comment here. Somebody said, he wish he could work, but I'm disabled. I'd rather be earning £1,000 a week than the 800 quid for universal credit. Yes, absolutely. But that's one perspective. And I'm sorry about your situation, but there are people out there who they can't afford to actually get off. It's a strange thing to do with hours and how it all links together with universal credit and with tax credits. I've seen it myself. It's like if you work too many hours, you lose your tax credits. And then all of a sudden, the cost of going to work itself, because travel back and forth, etc., it's just chaos. It is, Jeff. Absolute chaos. But we need a system where our youngsters, we need to have more children, as you keep on saying. We need the our children to have children now. That's the problem. And they can't afford to do it. They can't afford the housing. They can't afford any of it. It's just the whole system is totally messed up. Jeff.
Yeah, and it's not going to help while we keep the borders wide open.
Of course it's not.
No, and at the end of the day, we it's up to us. It's up to us. It's our, when I say our country, we should not be told that it is not our country. We're told that, aren't we? No, it's not your country. It's everybody in the world's country. They can all come here and benefit from it because it's everyone's. And it's not. No, it's not. And we have to get over this. You go and try and tell the Chinese that that's not their country, or the Japanese, or the Indians, or anyone. You go and try and tell them that. We're the only people that seem to have to say that we don't have a country or a culture, and it's got to stop.
Yeah. I mean, so
There you
there's
go.
one somebody's mentioned abortion here, and it's just very strange. I think about, again, we talk about free speech and what people say, but it's not even what you say anymore. You can stand there and pray in your own head, and that is illegal. Britain, what the effing hell has happened to you, to us? What have we allowed?
Yes, that's a very good question, and it's going to take, I think, as Orla said from Epping, I think it's going to take a revolution, and it's going to start with the concerned women, and they're going to descend on Westminster on the 1st of October, and I hope this does start a bit of a revolution in its own right, because people, at the end of the day, if the government's not listening and the government isn't doing what the voter wants, then what right does it have to be there? None. Absolutely none. No right at all. Nothing. If it's going to go back on its manifesto commitments and its promises to get elected, no, it's not legitimate. And I would also point at that to the parties that we're looking at on the right. They have got to make their manifesto clear, and they've got to stick to it when they get in. They can't go backtracking on it or trying to change tack or trying to be harder than they said in the manifesto because they wanted to get a few left-wing votes. No, you've got to be absolutely upfront with it all so that we know exactly what's going to happen. I think the people of this country are ready for big change, for a massive reaction.
And Whitehall, look out. Whitehall, look out. Because the only way that this is going to work is to absolutely throw the civil serpents, as you always say, Jeff, throw them out. Get rid of them. Gone. Get rid of them. And anything that gets in the way, it's like, for instance, if a law needs to be enacted, and all of a sudden it happens to contravene certain international rulings, etc., and laws, doesn't matter. It's now the law. We need somebody who will, if needs be, break existing international law and the existing restrictive laws within the United Kingdom to make sure. This is why sometimes I do wonder if democracy is the answer. We need a king, an absolute leader to come in and say, this is what's going to happen. Okay, make it so. In the words of Jean-Luc Picard from the Next Generation Star Trek. Make it so, Warp speed. Yeah, literally. Get it done. No effing about. Get it done. That's the kind of leader we need. Maybe it can come through the democratic route. I don't know. But I think that we definitely need that sort of king. And if we don't get that, a leader, and if we don't get that, then it's going to get messy, 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 Jeff.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it comes down to how many eggs do you want to smash, a few or all of them? And thanks, John Dingle, again. I identify as a grumpy Anglo-Irish man and proud. Thank you very much. And A. Fenner says, Jeff or Richard for PM. I tell you what, Richard can do it. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the ride.
Oh, don't give me ideas. Come on, in the comment section, which one of us for PM? Who's going to be PM and who's going to be Home Secretary? Let's, come on, in the comments, tell us who's PM and who's Home Secretary. Let's see if anything comes through, Jeff.
I've just seen someone come up and saying UBI, and I skipped past it and I can't find it. Now, what I'm thinking is someone has said that we need universal basic income at some... UBI is the end goal, I reckon, says Sierres. There's a lot to be said for that. But how do you derive that income? Because if everybody's sat at home doing nothing because they're getting paid, we're relying on some people to either volunteer, or some people are going to get a hell of a lot of money for doing the bit of work that they do, or we end up on artificial intelligence doing everything, which I don't know.
Well, that's going to happen. That's going to happen with AI coming. UBI is going to be a necessity, because look, nobody's going to be working in about by 2027. I think we're looking at probably about 20% of jobs that we currently have will be lost. King Richard, by the way, in one of the comments, like it. Although Jeff, I think
bacon for
you did
Prime
win.
Minister.
Yeah, I think you did win that round.
No. Sorry, Tommy won.
Okay, yeah. Oh, I'm loving this.
Someone said, Jeff, as it's his show. That's right.
Yeah, well, it is. It's the Jeff Taylor show. You know, I've been drag kicking and screaming into this bloody thing. I was quite happy in the background doing nothing until at one point Jeff became ill. Oh, bless. He wasn't very well. So guess who had to step in? Muggins be here. And everyone's like, we want Jeff back. Who's this crazy Welshman? We don't want him. Well, eventually, all the naysayers, they drifted away or they shut up because they learned how fantastic I truly am. Indeed. Jeff.
Larry the Cat for Prime Minister. There you go. Oh, no. You don't want me you do not want me as a public relations manager, I can assure you.
No, I agree. I'll second that. Richard the Lionheart from Temu. Love it. Brilliant comment. Thank you, Granville Kemba, for that. That's brilliant. Love it.
There you go. I think we've had our mirth's worth there. Anyway, all I can say is things are looking serious, and really, from what we sort of said right from the very beginning, the police force it's not a force, it's a service. It's a series of police services. The trouble is they don't service us anymore. They they pander to their own whims, they pander to their own biases, their own wokeness, all powered by the judges and the establishment, the Home Office. So we have to somehow recapture the police services and turn them into a public serving police force that goes after the hard criminals. Every time I go to London, I go on the Underground, and one of the routes I follow is the Central Line. And you get on there and they say, big public announcements. Don't show your mobile phone. Don't hold your mobile phone in public. People will snatch. And I'm thinking, so we know there's a problem here. It's a crime hotspot where everybody nicks your phone.
Yeah.
Where's the transport police? Searching for Tommy. That's where the transport police are.
Yes, exactly. I mean, let's go back to when they arrested him having his breakfast. What the bloody hell was that about? I mean, a pepper spraying him. That honestly, I swear, we forget about that pepper spraying incident. The way they treated him was absolutely bloody disgusting.
Yeah.
And this is our system. And this was not under Keir Starmer, by the way. No. This was under Rishi Sunak, as I recall.
The Tories, whatever, they're all the same. The Tories. Yeah. It was under the uniparty system.
Yes.
And the whole thing is the same. They're all going in the same direction. It's just that Labour will get us to destruction before the Tories will. But that's the Tory party's end destination anyway. It's exactly the same. So we need to be just ignoring those people. And I'm afraid there are a few Tories, and maybe. No, there are no Labour politicians that I would, but there are a couple of Tories that if they did go across to another party, that's fine. But most of them, they're just lefties. They're just Liberal Democrats wearing blue rosettes. So there you go. Anyway, Richard, I think it's time we called this one a halt, don't you? We've done enough. Oh, no, here we go again.
Indeed. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And please press the all option when you subscribe. And if you really like what we do, then I'd like you to please become a member too. And then you might get a few little extra pieces of content if Jeff can be asked to do that.
Thank you very much for that, Richard, playing us out like that.
Oh dear, bit of fun in it.
Yeah, a bit of fun at the end there. So everybody, thank you very much for watching. I hope you had a great time engaging with us. Yeah. And we will be back again tomorrow.
We will.
With more good news.
Oh, yeah. Well, we might... Jeff might be with you at 1 o'clock with a video, or we might both be on at 1 o'clock, but we will be here in the evening anyway. And love you all to bits, you lot. Fantastic.
Yep.
Please keep coming back, and we'll see you soon.
Yep. And on that note, I'll say it's goodbye from me.